What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizone for post day, match day, live, whatever you want to call it. With me today is Danielo. How are you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Still pissed about yesterday, but just in life, good. We're gonna talk about obviously yesterday's game. We're gonna talk about Tuchel for some reason because it's apparently relevant at the moment. If you are on Twitter, it's relevant for us. We're also going to talk a little bit about Napoli. I want to bring something up. And then maybe a look ahead, like a little look ahead to Salernitana, but just in general, because also we play Benfica next Wednesday. So just in general. So I did my match reaction yesterday, so I'm gonna let you speak first. How do you feel? Not today. How do you felt yesterday after the final whistle?
I wasn't too happy. Everyone thinks we played well second half. I think we still played shit. PSG just didn't play well, so they let us play. But it's the same stuff. Couple chances, but no real chances. Like actually creating chances, moving the ball, creating chances. Just not happy.
I also didn't think we played well the second half. Like it wasn't like a blueprint, in my opinion, for how it should be in the following games. Like style of play or whatever you want to call it. It wasn't that. The thing in the second half, we showed like the basic stuff, like energy, like actually desire to basically go forward, wanting the ball. So I rewatched the game at work today because I had so much time. Like the first half, the amount of time players were hiding and Paredes was getting pissed and like basically directing his teammates where to go to receive a ball. Yeah. I'm like, that's not okay. And in the second half, it got more, I'm going to say fluid. Like, it looked more natural when Paredes was on the ball.
Yeah, but he had so much space because PSG they gave up, I think. That's how I saw it. It was good. Like, it was nice, but in Syria, that's never going to happen because those teams are going to press us all game.
Don't you think in the first half, like PSG gave us the ball as well, in my opinion?
Yeah,
they gave us the ball. And we had no idea.
Yeah, we didn't know what to do with it, but I think second half they gave us the ball even more. Like they sat back even further.
They did.
Yeah. And Messi, there's one play I think Messi, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe could have scored, and then whatever Perrine got the ball and they just walked back. Like they're just walking. Like they didn't care. They're just attacking.
I watched Julian's post live yesterday, and he was still pissed, and he said. Like
he's always mad though.
Yeah, he brought up like, oh, if Mbappe squares it, it's 3-0. I'm like, fair, yeah. But if Milik just does a job, it's 1-1, and what then? Like, I don't think we can say that, oh, if he squares it, it's 3-0. Then if you say that...
Those Milik chances come like once every blue moon.
Like, I get that.
Those guys create those like 3, 4, 5 times a game. You know what I mean?
I get that, but like...
Yeah.
Okay, if he squares it, it's 3-0, it's fair. But what if Milik just does what he needs to do and scores, it's 1-1. What then? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, are they actually going to come at us more? Like, are we getting a bit more space in terms of, like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But, like, I think if you say one thing, I also need, what if it's 1-1 that early? Like, maybe we go on, lose 6-1. I don't know. And maybe if he scores 3-0, we still lose 2-3. I have no idea. Like, the chances... In general, like Donnarumma was fantastic. So was Perin, to be honest, in my opinion. But in the second half, like we still got the ball from PSG, but at least we had a clue in terms of what to do with it. Like we had, like I saw Cuadrado put it in tackles, Danilo stepping up, high up that pitch to winning the ball. I saw like the basic things, and I don't like to talk about it because people will call it Passion FC, which it is. Like that was lacking in the first half. Like we were scared. We were actually scared, to step on that pitch and face PSG. And like, I think fans should be scared, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, they're better. They're gonna beat us. Like, if you were the players, like
as pros getting paid millions, you shouldn't be scared, right?
like the moment we like the first minute, like not the first minute, I texted in the group chat already. Like I think it was 30 seconds in, Bonucci gives the ball away without any pressure. I'm like, oh boy, like like from all the players, he's doing that, we're screwed. Like I thought this is gonna be a disaster. Like if it was Miretti in the first 30 seconds giving the ball away, I'm like, okay, 19 years old, just turned 19, biggest game of his life, whatever. Like it was Bonucci, no pressure, straight down the middle into I think Messi's feet. I'm like, this is not looking good, and it wasn't looking good.
He does that every game though. He does that all the time.
I get
He's
that,
always
like,
playing stupid balls.
like it's kickoff, like just stay calm.
I know, yeah.
The stadium was rocking,
yeah.
like it was madness. Like just keep it cool. And he was like, nope, just putting the pressure already on us. I'm like, oh boy. But
yeah,
let's go not play by play, but like let's go the first 20 minutes because I think that was PSG's best moment of the entire game in my opinion because they were all over us and we were playing a different sport compared to them. Like, like it looked like
we weren't even playing.
No, it looked like we got 11 players on the street, like people, and just throwing them on that pitch, and didn't explain them the rules, and just like basically told them to do whatever they do. Copy.
I don't know if I thought we were 3 in the back, but it looked like at times we were 4 in the back. So I think like it's confusing. Like imagine being like, all right, like we're 3 in the back, but when you attack, you're 4 in the back, and like it's just like I don't know, man. I feel like that's too much sometimes, especially for new players, new to the system. Like at times Bremer looked like he didn't know where he was. He was at the halfway line half the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But those first 20 minutes, like, we couldn't keep hold of the ball. That was an issue, of course.
Yeah.
Besides that Milik cross, which was a good, possession, like well worked, like it was okay. But like the goals we conceded, like I won't say it's copy paste because in the second goal, like the first goal was like technically played perfectly. Although I think Bremer should have read that much better because he saw that. He saw.
You think it's Bremer's fault? You think that goal is Bremer's fault?
Not 100% because Rabiot was not tracking back. Like he was not closing down the space.
Because Neymar got the ball. He turned, got his head up. And like Locatelli, or not Locatelli, Paredes should have closed him down. Rabiot and Paredes, both of them. But Bonucci's got to get over there. He doesn't have Chiellini anymore. He's got to understand that. Like, he's got to get over it.
I think Bonucci, the second one, I think was his mistake. Like he kept that line too low. Like because his teammates were like, I would say 2-3 steps ahead of him, and I was like, you kept Mbappe, on it basically. When you can clearly see your teammates are stepping up, and I mean, when he shoots on goal, it's very. Although I still think Pedri should have saved that first one or like done better, but whatever. Like it went there.
He could have, yeah. 100%.
I think people saying
it was so fast.
It was fast, close, but like
it was out of nowhere. Like I don't think he expected him to shoot that. You know what I mean?
But he touched it. But I don't want to dwell on it. Like it is what it is. Like he also made some fantastic saves. So I'm like, you shouldn't have kept that out, but like you still did it, which is great. But after those 20 minutes, they gave us the ball, which was good for them because we had absolutely no idea what to do with it. Like it was frustrating. Like I think everybody knows the Cuadrado play, that highlight that first half. Like he was at the edge of the box and that ball ended up almost in a corner kick for PSG. Like I have no idea how he managed to do that.
Yeah.
Like that was very. How do you want to say that? Like that was very significant. We struggled to create anything. Like if you need to do that, then it's not looking good. That was my main issue. And the second part is Kostic in the first half. Like we refused to give him the ball. We refused to give him the ball, and he was in good positions. I'm like, okay, now he's gonna get it, and I'm like, nope, he's cutting back in. Alexandro Paredes is like, nope, not doing it. I'm like, okay, that's
it's almost
weird.
like they train. Like Allegri's like, all right, get the ball out wide, now look, turn around, play back to your fullback. Like it's almost like they practice that. The amount of times it happens where they can just take on the defender 1v1.
Yeah,
they either don't have the confidence or they're just told to turn back and play it safe just to keep the ball. But you gotta take risks at some point. Like you can't just keep passing the ball back to your fullback and back to your goalie. Like you're never gonna score. the opposing team is so easy. Just jog around,
It
watch you
was.
pass the ball around, circle around. Like they're don't phase. They don't care, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, I agree, and I think like, like Alexandro could be like, if you your explanation, you can put a picture of Alexandro on it or Cuadrado the last 8 months. Like they don't go past their players, like they cut back, and they just play it back straight from where it came. I'm like, that's kind of pointless, but whatever. So that was
Cuadrado
basically
played a cross back to Perrine. I don't know that one play where he got the ball
yeah,
out wide and
yeah.
played like
That's
a long ball back to like I don't know if it was the center back or who it was too, but it went like almost over a throw in.
oh, it was absolutely
Yeah,
nobody.
it's
Like,
terrible.
it was I don't know. I still have no idea what he was thinking there. But that was basically the first half. And when that first half ended, I was like, okay, that was very underwhelming. No surprise. No, I'm not shocked, but I'm like,
I
in
don't
the
think anyone
second
was
half,
mad because they expected it.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but like, I was still pissed, like the way it went.
Yeah.
I'm like, I still want to not lose this game. I still want to win. Like, even though I understand we're not the favorites, but when that whistle went, basically, I'm like, okay, the second half, they need to come out and actually show some kind of pride, whatever, like anything. Like, it's still, you're still playing for Juve. Like, it is what it is. It's the highest, like the biggest stage. Like, you cannot get embarrassed like that. Like, you just can't. Like, I don't care who's out there. You just can't. Like, purely based on history and name, which I still believe counts. And they come out and they do what I basically want them to do. Like, just show some, don't be scared to actually play. Like, to wanting the ball. And that started with McKennie. Like, I don't rate McKennie. People know that, because I think on the ball he's horrendous. Like, it is what it is. But if he's
he
fit,
has some good flashes, but he's usually just crap. Like his touch is terrible.
But if he's fit, if he's actually 100% fit, his runs into the box or like into space are very important for us. They are, or for Allegri. And his energy, sometimes it looks like a headless chicken. You're like, oh my god, just stop running for a minute, and take a position. But that was what we needed yesterday, because I think there was like a bit of I don't want to say that, a bit of a spark towards the other teammates, telling them, come on, like. And Danilo came out after the game saying, why should we get, basically spanked by PSG? Why was everybody saying that? I'm like, yeah, like, that should be the reaction. But like in the first half, it looked like you guys were thinking we were going to get spanked. So in the second half, I think McKennie was a spark, and everybody kind of understood the assignment, and they went for it. And with a little bit of luck, it could have been 2-2. We didn't have that luck, so I'm not going to complain about that. And after the game yesterday, I said, like, we could have got a point out of that game. And people in the comments were saying, oh, we wouldn't deserve that. Like, I don't care. Like, I know we didn't deserve to get a point out of it, but I actually don't care. Like, there was enough, like, over 90 minutes, the way PSG handled that game, managed, and looking at that second half and the waste of the first half we had, I'm like, I'm frustrated, because you could have, went back to
we could have tied that game up. We could have even won it if Allegri would have, not taken off striker. And, we were playing well, and then when we took him off, we just sat. Our line went from like being like halfway up the field to just on top of our box. Like we were just sitting back, counterattacking, right? And you're counterattacking with Vlahovic, he can't run in behind. He's not fast. He's slow as hell. He can't even hold up the ball.
I thought Milik was playing well in that second half, like hold up play, dropping into the pockets, linking up play. Yeah, so
I thought they should have took Vlahovic off, if anything. He wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, he's never. But like, he took Milik off, and like, I don't know how many, like 15 minutes later or less, 5 plus 3 added times, he brings on Keane. I'm like, okay, what's the vibe you're giving me? Like, I'm a bit confused. Was it like, we need to take a foot off our gas a little bit, control the game, because PSG was getting back into it, and then go for the last 10 minutes. Maybe it was that. Like, I'm not sure, but
he gets scared. I think Allegri gets scared that we're going to concede, so he always goes defense mode. But it's like, we need to score. Who cares if they concede? Whether we lose 2-1 or 4-1, it's the same shit. Like, we still
that's what I said. Like, if we would have lost 10-0, someone said, "Oh, like the conceded goal with Benfica and all those things." I'm like, I don't care. You still need to beat Benfica home and away. Like, that's the goal. You need to beat them home and away. You don't need to speculate on goal difference to make it out of the group. Like, if that's what you're doing, then just forget about it. Don't bother, and go back into the Europa League. I don't know what to tell you. Like, you still need to beat Benfica home and away. So I couldn't care if it was when that 2-1 happened. I'm like, just go for it. Like, if it ends 4-1, it is what it is. Like, I don't like 2-1 or 4-1.
He's thinking goal difference or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, that could not be the case, because you need to beat Benfica home and away. Like,
the thing I've learned with Allegri is he's very precise with the way he looks at, like, tallying points in general, just the league, whether it's Champions League or just the Serie A. He doesn't look every game like at itself, like, we need to get 3 points. He's like, okay, we need to win 7 of these games or 6 of these games and gain this amount of points. Like, he doesn't care how we do it. He's like, he even said we need 10 points to progress, right? So he doesn't look at it like, we're going to play PSG, we're going to try to get 3 points. He's like, we need 10 points by the end of these 6 games. So let's put all our basket in Benfica and Maccabi Haifa. But that mentality sucks, because then we don't beat Benfica and then we're screwed, right? You see it all the time, especially with Italy.
Yeah, I don't like that, because that's not that's like, it's not 1 + 1 is 2. Like, you still need to play those games. Like, you don't know if you're gonna win. Yeah. Like, you can go to Maccabi and pick up a red card in the first minute, and what then? Like, you don't win that game. Like, it's not 1 + 1 is 2. Like, so I don't like when he does that. I'm confused when he does that. Actually, it pisses me off when he does that. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Too, yeah.
Like, we didn't even kick the ball in the Champions League, and he was talking about 10 points. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
That was the issue yesterday, because after the game he came out and he said it's a missed opportunity. I'm like, you set it up basically by talking about 10 points, saying like our battle was with Benfica, and you watch that game and you leave that game with the feeling like I had. I'm like, we could have gotten something out of that game with luck. I don't care, but like, it wasn't. Also, the way PSG play, people say, "Oh, they took the foot off the gas." Fine, like, that's their problem. They did it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
like, they did it.
We should have.
Yeah, like, we should have taken advantage of it, and with a bit of luck, we would have done that. If they took the foot off the gas or not, that's their issue. Like, I don't actually care about that. Like, that's not what I care about. I care about the point or points. But yeah, I was frustrated yesterday after that game, because I was going into that game in terms of like, they're just gonna beat us. Like, they're just better than us, and they were better than us. Like, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's actually very frustrating. I'm still pissed about it. Like, I thought about it the entire day. I'm like,
I stopped. Pissed. I'm like, it ruins my weekends. I'm like, I don't even. Right now, I just don't care. It is what it is.
You know what pisses me off the most? Deep down, it does piss me off, but is when I watch that first half and then the second half. I'm like, why are you scared to play? Like, to actually want that ball? Like, everything. Like, put some pride in that game. Try to put your foot alongside PSG. Like, even if it doesn't work, like, at least I can come out of that game and like, okay, they tried, but like, they're just a better team. It is what it is. Like, fair. Like, in the first half, they went into that game, and the feeling I have was like, they believed Allegri when he said, like, it's pointless. Like, they believed that, and I'm like, that's so wrong. Like, I like, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Now, let's move on to what it means. Basically, you can say Salernitana on Sunday or Benfica on Wednesday, but like, I just mean in general moving forward, because we've seen good halves over the last year and a half, and then it resulted in a piss poor performance next game, basically. And I titled the show "Learning," because that's basically the key word everybody uses. Rabiot, Allegri, Danilo, Who else said that after the game? I think it was Vlahovic. After he scored 2 goals, was it Vlahovic? But like, it's a word. It's learning. Riva Bene said it needs time. They still need to learn. Basically, they still need to get to know each other. So that's a word. Now, when does the learning stop? Because Danilo kind of was pissed yesterday. He said like, yeah, we still need to learn, but like at some point it needs to stop. Basically, like you need to how do you want to say it? Like master the thing you're studying, like, and it needs to happen on
Yeah.
Sunday from minute 1. Do you believe it's gonna happen on Sunday from minute 1, basically?
No, no, I don't. Like, I want to believe it will, but I've done that in the past, and it's the same shit. Um, it's like they have. I think they have like a, what's it called? Like a someone like behind the scenes being like, this is what you say after the game. This is what you need to say. Blah blah blah. The press asks you this. This is what you need to say. Like most teams have like people like that, but it's the same shit. Like literally, it's we need to be better. We need to improve. Like we're improving. We're working hard, and then you get to the game and they're like all tired. They don't play, and then they tie 1-1 to Salernitana.
Yeah.
So I, I, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
No,
It's
no.
I want to believe that they will, but it's also Salernitana, so it's a good chance we might play really well. But also, if they press us, like the thing is, when teams press us, we can't play. We can't play in tight spaces. Players they don't know what to do with the ball. They get the ball, get their head up. They have no clue
I,
what to do with it. So
and after the game, Allegri said that Sanitana game will basically be tougher because they leave less
like
space. Basically, that's what he said. Which like might be true. Like it probably will be true that they leave less space, but like that should not be the reason for it to be a tougher game.
no,
Like it's PSG versus Salernitana. Like I don't care if they sit back with 11. Like come on, like you're playing at home against Salernitana. I don't want to hear excuses in terms of they don't leave a lot of space like PSG. Like Champions League, there's always space in the Champions League, no matter who you play. Even if you play probably a Maccabi away from home, there will be space. It's the Champions League. They're not gonna close down because they know we're probably gonna lose this game, so let's just go for it. Like that's how everybody's playing or like thinking in the Champions League, in my opinion, especially towards the end of the group stage. But I agree. I don't see it. Like I want to believe it, but I did that last season, and they basically disappoint me every time. Basically, the Roma game. It's proof of that. Like first half, high intensity. It was good. Like even the second half, it was like, what the hell happened to you guys?
the only
Like
time it ever happened was Allegri's second season. I remember when we were playing like shit. I think the first 5-6 games we had
yeah,
like
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we lost to Udinese, and then Quadrado scored that last minute against Torino, and then the season just flipped. We went on a run, but we don't have the
Yeah.
players for that. Like Quadrado was like 6 years younger, 7 years younger. Like like
But it just like even the basic stuff, like I said in the first half, like intensity wise, all like just basic things, like being brave on their ball, like which we were in the second half. Like we were playing out from the back when PSG
yeah,
was trying to pressure us. I'm like, just do it. Like you're gonna kick it away. What then? Like if you kick it away 20 times, like it's coming back 20 times away to PSG. Like the chances are very high. One of those times is gonna be in the back of the net. Like at least try to keep that ball, keep it away from PSG. When they were trying to pressure us, like at home against Salernitana, or just at home in general. Like not like even away. Like it needs to be a given. Like that you're. I don't know. Like in the second half, like in the first half, it felt like they don't want to be there. In the second half, it felt like they want to be there.
yeah.
And against Roma, it was like the flip side. In the first half, I'm like, okay, they want to be here and they want to win this game. In the second half, I'm like, not sure what you guys up to. Like, what's the deal? Like, do you still want to win that game or not?
Because then Roma play shit. I missed the game. I was away,
They
but
were horrendous.
yeah. So the only time we ever play well is when teams play like shit. Like PSG yesterday stopped playing second half. Roma played like shit first half. They let us play, so then we have space on the ball. We can do whatever, right? But it's not like we even create that many chances when we play when we have the ball.
No. Oh, I agree. Like we create.
You know,
not like yesterday. I was kind of surprised. Like we created more against PSG than at home against like even away to Fiorentina. And we created more yesterday, which is it's kind of insane. Like because Fiorentina gave a lot of space. Like they did. Like we were just piss poor on the ball, and we have no ideas. Like even if you sit back, I would accept it. And if you are very good on counterattacks or when you have the ball, like you're deadly, I will be like, okay, like that's your style of play. Like Tuchel did that, and we're gonna talk about him in a bit. But like, fine. Like even if we are on the break, I'm like, not sure you actually train on that because that looks horrendous. Like that looks very disjointed. Like nobody has a clue what to do with the ball. Like the runs they make, I'm like, it's all over the place. They they overlap each other on the wrong side. I don't know how many times that happens. I'm like, okay.
I don't know what they do in training. Like I'd love to go watch.
I actually do.
Have you ever been?
No. I was invited once. Like if you remember, like I mean, I'm not gonna travel to watch a train, but even then, like they show you just the basic stuff, you know, like the fun stuff for the fans.
You don't get to watch the actual actual training.
Maybe they changed that. Like back then, they do some, you know, 7v7 or like rondos and like stuff like that. Like nothing.
Yeah. Just
tactically, because they also allow the media then in, so they're not gonna do that. But
right.
But yeah, like on Sunday, I think we're gonna win. We should win. But I don't think it's gonna be. I don't want to like a lights out. Performance where I'm like, okay, maybe we turn the page. Like I don't think it's gonna be that. I hope, but I don't believe it. I don't think we are gonna have a style of play just based on a decent second half away to PSG. Like it's not gonna come out of nowhere.
It's gonna be a totally different game.
Also, like if there were snippets, we're like, oh, okay, this is like that's new. Like, and you can see it evolve in a few games, but not even that. So how is it going to go from nothing to oh my god in 2-3 days? Like, I actually don't see how. Like, no idea. But yeah. What's next? Oh yeah, Tuchel. We're not a Chelsea page, but Juve fans made it about Chelsea today, so we're gonna discuss that. Chelsea have sacked Thomas Tuchel. I still cannot believe it. By the way, I thought it was a parody account when I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I woke up and saw that and I was like, what? Really?
I thought I got baited once again. So
yeah.
Before I reacted, I'm like, I need to check. And I checked the official account of Chelsea and they're like, yeah, he's sacked. I'm like, how? What? When? Like, what happened? I don't know, they were having a bad spell and they lost to Dinamo Zagreb. But like, what? Like, I don't, like the transfer seasons, like the players he wanted, all those things. Like, I'm still confused about it, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like you spend all this money on players your coach wants, and then you just fire them.
Yeah, like
now someone else has to come in. He
convinced Aubameyang to join.
Yeah,
and he's gone. And Aubameyang was hyping it up, saying, I remember him from the Dortmund times. It's gonna be great. Yeah, 2 games, like 1 game basically. He started 1 game, and he's out of here. And obviously the thing was on Twitter. Chelsea will have sacked Tuchel and Allegri still here. That's a club with standards. Blah blah blah. You know what the drill is basically. I didn't react to it. I only react to people saying bring Tuchel in. I'm like, no, because if you're gonna sack Allegri,
Gary Girardi wants to bring Tuchel in.
No, I don't want Tuchel. If you sack Allegri, I want something completely different, like complete opposite. Because Tuchel
he's a Juventus type coach, though. Like, you know, he's kind of defensive.
It's way too close to what Allegri's. implement.
But it's more
like,
you
only.
can get more of it as players, I think.
Yeah, but then again, like it wasn't. He wasn't getting out of it anymore. Now, like he was getting no response.
They won the Champions League. Like they don't care anymore.
Maybe, but yeah, I don't want Tuchel when like, that's not the point. Excuse me. That was not the point I was trying to make. The point was, and I will ask that question straight up. Do you think, and I'm not saying they're gonna do it or whatever, or if there's any rumor, but do you think, let's say we don't win against Salernitana, we don't win against Benfica, but maybe we do win in the last game before the international break. Do you think the club should be like, okay, that's it, you're out?
Klopp?
Yeah, Juve. No, the club. Do you think the club?
Oh, the
should
club.
Be like,
I think you said Klopp.
No. Do you think Juve or like management will be like, you're out?
No, because they haven't. Because we don't have Chiesa, we don't have.
No. Okay.
No. So no, I don't think they will.
No, not they will, but do you think they should?
Oh, do I think they should?
Yeah. Not what they will, because they don't. No. They won't. No. They should. Okay, and why not? Because that was the debate today.
Because he doesn't have the players yet. I don't know. Like you spent. What's he making? Is it 9 million? He's making.
It's very close to
like you spent all this money on this guy, bring him back. Like you die by your sword, basically. Like. I get once he gets his players, like gets Pogba and Chiesa back and all those guys, and it doesn't work, then you do it. But like, I think sacking him is gonna make things worse because who do we bring in? Tuchel maybe, but I think right now is not the time. It's just no, I don't think so.
I like it's not gonna happen, but
it's too.
You know what it is? If we didn't have a history of bringing in Italian coaches or ex-players, then I would be like, yeah, I've seen enough. 1 year and these few months, like I've seen enough, you know. But we're not that type of club. Like we've never done that. Yeah. I think we've done that once. Second coach mid-season, the last I don't know how many years. I think. Mm-hmm. So we're not that club. So we don't have experience with it. And Chelsea do have, you know, basically with doing that. So I'm scared, like just based on what the club will do if they do it. Like I'm actually scared in terms of, oh boy, who are they gonna bring in? Like what's gonna happen now? Yeah, if they have a proven record of making the right choices, season in, season out, and they made it wrong now and they want to get it right, I'm like, yeah, I trust you guys. But no, so that's my only issue. But when Julian said, like, in January, if we are completely out of it, you know, then he said basically you have no choice. I agree more.
Yeah.
If you're completely out of everything, that's a no-go.
What's that, like 8th, 7th? What's that for you? 5th?
No, we can be second, but like 12 points behind. I'm like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Or like something like that. I think in January we should be in there, like in terms of one game off the top or something like that, or be top. Like I don't know. Like we should be in and around that mix in January. If not, for me it's an issue. It's a big issue, to be honest. And Louis is asking a question. Thanks for the super chat. Saying, let's say Allegri gets sacked and Tuchel comes in. What team would he feel? Who would he bring in the next Mercato? I don't know any names, but he will bring in defenders because he's not going to play.
No Aubameyang will come.
He's not going to play with the defenders we have or that room. Like he's like, imagine Tuchel playing that style with the defenders and the wingers or wingbacks he has now at his disposal, like at Juve. Like that will be that will look worse than what Allegri is trying to do because it will look hilarious. Like imagine Alexandro bound forward or stuff. Like imagine Bonucci playing that because Rudiger, I remember last season, like he was stepping up that pitch so high at times. I'm like, oh my god, like they're gonna get caught out soon. Like imagine Bonucci doing that. Like he's gonna buy an entire new backline basically. He's not gonna play Gatti or Rugani or De Sciglio, Alexander. Like that's never gonna be the case, never. And he's not coming into the club and saying, "I'll take that." No chance, no chance. But people in the chat, let me know. Will you sack Allegri, or like, do you think the club should sack Allegri if we don't win on Sunday? We don't win against Benfica, and we also kind of mess up in the last game for the international break, basically. Do you think the club should sack Allegri? And I know people say they should have done it in the summer, but like, this is what it is. It didn't happen. So do you think they should do it after, the next 2 weeks, basically, or whatever, 1 week and a half? Lewis is saying yes. I think a lot of people will say yes. Omar is saying yes. Misa is saying no. Luis Miranda is making sure Allegri's gone, saying without a doubt again. But
what has firing our coach done for us the last 3 seasons, though? It hasn't done anything. You know what I mean? It's like we've done that,
and that was with a preseason. It hasn't worked.
And that's with 3 coaches that play relatively different styles of football. So I think you just stick with them, at least at the end of the season, and then you let them go. If we're not where we're at the end of the season, you let them go.
Fairytale saying no, nobody can change the team in 1 year. If you want, sack wait 3 years with the new coach. Nah, not in this case. Like he's an experienced coach. Like I'm not like you can
give him 2.
That's already stretch. Like a coach of his caliber shouldn't get 3 years to get this right. I'm sorry. Like it is what it is. I'm just saying you change at the end of the season. Not necessarily. Like if it goes really south, like you do it. Like what's the point to wait until the end of the season? Like if you can salvage your season still, you do it. Like it's money at stake, like a lot of money. Like it's not that the club can be like, if we don't make it, like we lose in the summer. It's about close to 60, 70 mil. You're gonna lose. Like it's a lot of money at stake. So it's a serious question. The club cannot sit there if it's going south and say, no, we're just doing it in the summer, not mid-season. Like it's a big.
Do you think the club? Do you think they have someone in mind right now? They're planning for it.
No. Like they shouldn't.
But like, you don't think so? You don't think they're thinking like, okay, like if this doesn't work out, who's next?
No, like I think not they should concretely, but like maybe each of them
ideas,
have a name in their heads. But like I don't think they're discussing it. Like they shouldn't be discussing. The moment you discuss it is the moment you're gonna make that decision, basically. Like because it will leak if you discuss it. It will leak, and that looks bad. Like on the coach, on the players, like everything. Like it creates a lot of negativity, which should like we don't need at the moment. But they probably have. They're like
I think so.
They're guys like
it'd
in
be
their
smart
head.
to at least have something in their head.
Like
people are saying like can't change a team 1 year.
No, it's not been 1 year. Like
the thing is like we've had Allegri for a year and a bit now, second run, and we haven't seen anything. There's no like it's been one season. At least with those coaches, you see some sort of ideas or some way they're trying to play, even if they don't get the results. At least you see like this is how they're playing, and this is how they want to play, and these are the ideas they're putting on the pitch. With us, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. Like you watch the game, it looks like they're just told to go play. Like go play, have fun. Like, there's no ideas. There's no strict like way of playing. It's just, and it's been over a year. So like, do you expect that to change like one weekend? Like probably not.
So. I agree. I agree with that. And that's why I asked that question, because I don't see anything. Like it's every week something different, but still the same. If you know what I mean? Like it's the same. It's bad.
I feel like it's different out of sheer luck. It's different. Like just because it's different. Like it just happens. It's not like we tried to make it different. It just is.
Yeah. Like if it looks differently every week or consistently the same but really bad, then like you're doing something wrong. Misaka saying this season we must see nothing we should base from last year. Simple. We didn't have correct guys for his play. Key players at most this season. No, last season counts, 100% sure. Like, that season is not a write-off. Like, we cannot forget about that season. That happened under his watch, and it's gonna stay there. And he's gonna take that with him this season. Yeah. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say the guy who's earning 9 million a season, who's very experienced, we can forget about last season. No, I'm gonna keep that in mind, and I'm gonna add it all up to this season. It is what it is. Like, that's the business. Last season, he still had a good enough squad to do better. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying win the title last season, but like, not like that. It should have been better. Like, it is what it is. So I'm taking that with me. And even now, we should be doing better with this squad. I know they're new players, all of them, but like, look at Napoli. They have new players. They're doing well. They sold key players. Like, key players. Like, big time. The same. They look gelled in. They are clicking on all cylinders.
Yep.
Why should I take, how do you want to say that? Like, why should I settle for less? Why? Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not comparing both. Like, I'm comparing both situations. Basically, but like, I'm not saying it needs to be copy paste, but like, there's no improvement at all in my opinion. And with Spalletti, it's already gelling, and he is playing new players also. So I'm not on board with let's forget about last season. Yeah, I'm not doing that. They have their key players, luckily but like, the injury excuses go so far. Like, if you have a style of play, I'm not going to say you're going to win every game with key injuries week in, week out, but like, at least you're going to do better. We don't have a style of play. So that injury excuse, I'm not going to give it that anymore at this point. Like, I'm not. Like, we will do better when Chiesa, Pogba, and Di Maria comes back, but that's just because of the fact, like, it's quality injection. Like, even if you're not really a coach, like, there's just quality. It will look better, like, just by default, in my opinion. But it doesn't mean we'll have a style of play still, and that's my issue. That's my biggest issue. Let me see. Let me see what the comments are saying. Yeah, people are throwing out names there. Yeah, nothing. Just throwing out names there, which
I would bring Conte back. I don't know about you. I
would. Like, he will. It's not gonna happen with Agnelli, by the way. But like, he will restore us up to a certain level. In my opinion, and then I know what's gonna happen. Fans will be like, "This is not good enough." Yeah, we're winning, but like, in Europe, we look shit. Or like, whatever, like, we are stalling, or like, you know what I mean? I know what's gonna happen with fans. I know people will say, I'll bring him back now, but I know in 2-3 years times, I know what they're gonna say. It's like, this is it? We need something new now. Like, we're basically, like...
People forget I don't know about your Twitter timeline 2 years ago, but mine was filled with Allegri back. Like, everyone was so excited when we signed him. They're like, all right, like, we got him back, he's changed. And now they all hate him. It's like, 2 years ago you wanted him. Now it's like, people are never going to be happy at the end of the day. They're always going to want the coach out eventually, regardless.
I wasn't happy, but I was like, okay, maybe we'll get back some stability. Just go back to basics, because we were all over the place. But it wasn't my first choice. Like, the choices I wanted, we were not looking at. We will never look at. But it's Juve. Like, they go back to basically things that are familiar for them, or whatever you want to call it. They know, they can control, and it's gonna be like this for forever, in my opinion. Like, I'm still waiting. Like, the day they announce, I'm just saying something now. It's not gonna happen. Like, Klopp, or like Potter, who's going to Chelsea now, or like, I'm just throwing out names. Nagelsmann, when he was at Leipzig, like, something where you're like, where did that came from? No ties to the club. He's coaching. He's a coach now. Like, wow. The day that happens, I will be shocked. I will
It's
be
never
absolutely
happened.
shocked. No. And people
It's never
saying
happened. Yeah.
Deschamps, like I said it, it's Italians or ex-players. Like,
We've had him already. Yeah, we already had him in Serie B. So
yeah,
he already coached us.
I will be absolutely shocked if that happens. That day it happens, I'll probably fall off my chair when I read that news announcement, because that means like it could go like two ways. That means the club is like, we need to change the way we run this thing. Get someone else in and give him a little bit more saying and stuff like that. Or it will be like, get someone else there, but we will treat him like the, I'm gonna say, puppets we used to get in,
He's like an outsider.
and it
Like an
will be,
outsider.
yeah, and it will be a complete disaster basically.
Yeah.
And people saying Zidane, he's just waiting on that French job. Like
Mancini
no.
would be interesting. I think Mancini would be interesting. I don't know. I don't think I would like it, but for short term, I think it'd be okay.
Yeah, I need something long term. Like this is long term with Allegri apparently. Like 3-year plan. No idea what the plan is. Like actually no idea what the plan is. I keep saying it.
Yet. It's a bunch of bullshit. I think they say that shit to sound smart, because there's no plan.
Nobody can tell me what the plan is. And even tomorrow there's a press conference which is very strange. Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm still confused in terms of how, like, what are they gonna say? Like, what's the point of it? Like, I'm actually confused. Like, you know what? When that news came out, I'm like, they read the Twitter comments and they're pissed, and they're basically like, we're gonna put a statement out that we play our youngsters. Yeah. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. Like, I'm so confused, but I'm looking forward to it because I'm also curious. I'm like, what's gonna happen? Like, what are they gonna say?
Didn't they report out all those losses today? Probably have no money. Didn't they report a lot of losses, like 150 million or 200 million?
I didn't see that. Like,
yeah. So they reported their losses today. Okay. A lot of money they lost.
Oh, but we know that anyway.
What I'm saying is, like, maybe they're just looking to try to develop now instead of buying, spending. I'm like, so. They saw Moretti and they're like, all right, well, we got a whole midfield for free basically. So like, Rovella, Moretti, that's a lot of money you can save. I don't know.
I'm actually looking forward to it tomorrow. I want to see what they're gonna say. It's gonna be a lot of propaganda basically. It better be, like, if you do something like that, it better be propaganda. But I'm very interested to hear what they're gonna say, like each of them, like even for Jordan, because
I think it's gonna be very robotic. It's gonna be, they have a script.
Yeah.
Because that's how the club usually runs.
I think it's the first interview of Miretti ever since he started playing consistent. Or like, it will be his first decent one.
Yeah.
Like, that I'm gonna watch live, not in the newspaper or something. So not pre-recorded or stuff. Yeah. So
is it online? Where is it? Where do you watch it?
It should be on Juve TV. Like, they organize it, so it should be on it. Like, if they organize it, it should be on it. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Miretti injured. He's not, like, he took him off to protect him yesterday because he picked up a yellow, which I'm so confused on.
That was such a good tackle.
That
was such a good tackle. I don't understand half the time. His studs weren't even like really up. Like,
the moment it happened, I'm like, clean. I was hyped. I'm like, foul. I was like, yellow. Like, I'm like, what the hell happened over here? But
that was a great tackle.
I saw some comments yesterday, even on their video, saying, "Oh, but you guys wanted to start him. What told you so?" I'm like, no, that's literally what I predicted. He's gonna have games where you're like, this is not good, which is okay. It's normal. It's good because he needs to learn. Like, he needs to learn the hard way. Like, he's not gonna learn playing for Monza, fighting relegation. He's not gonna learn the hard lessons there. Yesterday, he learned the hard lesson, and quality-wise, it wasn't good, but nobody was that. But like, I gave him credit for, like, he doesn't look, how do you want to say that? Completely out of place. Like, the tackles he was making.
He belonged.
Yeah.
He didn't play amazing, but he didn't look like he was a 19-year-old.
So,
like,
yeah.
Like, he was there. He played well when he had the ball. Didn't do anything too crazy. Won some tackles. He was strong.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I'll take it. Like, he was gonna make mistakes. I'm not gonna say I'm happy he had that game, but like it's good that he had that type of game.
He needs that experience.
Yeah. So I didn't really understand the comments because it's gonna happen with these. Like we have seasoned players doing that crap. Like Bonucci, like, I saw that. You saw that clip.
He pisses me off so much. He's always pointing at people, like getting mad at other people, and I'm like, it's literally your fault. Like, why are you yelling at Bremer?
He's
like,
the leader of
throws
that
his
back
hands
line.
up. Yeah, and he just
like that Neymar chance, the header. I saw people defending him. Oh, where should he put him? I'm like, what?
Yeah,
like,
that was crazy.
That's just basic stuff. I just head it forward, like
head it out, flick it, put it over into for a corner kick or something.
Yeah, just like head it forward, like no, it's basic stuff. Like you don't you don't play the ball straight down the middle, like in your own box, like oh my god, like I'm still waiting for Gatti to get a few more chances because that's not it at this level. And I know if you play Gatti, you will make mistakes, but like I'll take that over Bonucci, seeing Bonucci make mistakes. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he'll never bench him though.
No, it's not gonna happen.
He'll start whenever he's available.
Getting more minutes, Gatti, he should be, in my opinion. Yeah. Maybe at home against Salernitana, he should be playing, but it's not gonna happen because he's just back from injury. Maybe Bremer gets a rest. I don't know. Like you need to give him a chance because Bonucci's not the future. Like he's already the past, in my opinion, and he's still playing. Yeah, so
get new guys in there, develop them at least.
I agree.
Right, but Allegri needs to win now. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, he's never really been interested in developing players. Now he is because he's got Miretti, but I think he's just so win now mentality that like he doesn't care about youngsters, like letting them make mistakes. Like he wants to just play his best guys, right?
But I thought yesterday was a strong signal because he started and he benched Locatelli, and I'm not surprised because Locatelli was poor and has been for but he's been poor for a while. Like even last season, like that wasn't good in my opinion. I thought starting Miretti away to PSG, I'm like, that's a strong signal towards Miretti, towards everybody in that team, basically saying like if you're playing poor, I'll start the 19-year-old at this point because he actually loves him, like he actually believes in him. So I think that was a signal. I don't think, because people say, oh, you pull him at halftime, he's done. I don't believe that. I still think he's gonna play a lot more than people expected at the start of the season.
They think he's done because they pulled him at halftime.
Yeah, I saw comments saying, "Oh, he's done. Allegri's not gonna play him." Like he's not. Like
he just changed tactics, so he brought in McKennie to play wide right.
It was a 4-4-2 then, but also I think he protected him a little bit, which is okay. Like he should be doing that. Like that's fine. Like that's man management, like player management, which was good. But yeah. The last thing before we wrap it up, I want to bring it up, and it's Paredes. Because there was a lot of controversy when we signed him for so many reasons, saying Rovella is better. I don't believe Rovella is better, by the way. I don't. At the moment, he's not better than Paredes. But I could understand the thinking about giving or spending that money on an aging Paredes instead of investing that money elsewhere and keep Rovella. I understood that point. But on the flip side, I'm like, but we need something who's ready also now. Like, there's so many uncertainties in this team. But I understood that point. But I was okay with signing Paredes. In the first half, I saw comments saying, oh, he's horrendous, he's shocking. I'm like, I'm watching a different game, but okay.
Yeah.
Like, I still thought he was our best player in the first half. It's not saying much, but like, people are saying, oh, he's giving the ball away consistently. I'm like, that's not true. And over 90 minutes, he gave it away 4 times. Like, he was spotless. And I know in the first half it was sideways, but like, that was not his fault in the first half. But like, his on the ball, like, he's calm. Like, he can handle a ball, but like, also his spirit, like, putting his body in the way. We didn't have that with Locatelli last season playing that position. And that's a big difference. What do you think he will be? What I'm saying, I'm not saying good, but like, do you think he will be a difference maker for us over the course
For
of
us, yeah.
40 games.
Oh yeah, he already showed it like against PSG. Just the calmness on the ball, right? He gets the ball, he doesn't panic with it. So that's already huge because I mean we suck on the ball, so it's already an upgrade there. Yeah.
I think if they get to know each other a bit more up front and get instinct, and even like if he can pin a ball. Like I'm not gonna say he's not gonna
100%.
switch play like Bonucci could do that. Like at times, like he's not that. But like I was thinking, like if you have Di Maria and a Chiesa on that wing, I think you have something. Not to beat Salernitana. Still, you need to beat Salernitana at home without Di Maria and Chiesa. That's what it is. But the final question I want to basically end with, and it's a hypothetical question, because that was also the post-game debate. What if we had Pogba, Di Maria, and Chiesa yesterday? Do you think we would have lost that game?
That's a hard question. I don't think so.
Okay, so
I say no.
Follow-up question, because that was a follow-up question on Twitter. Yes, I need to stay off Twitter, but it is what it is. I was on it. The follow-up question was, when people answer what you answered, they were like, I forgot the follow-up question now. Then, what did I say? Oh yeah, if we have Pogba, Chiesa, and all those players, the follow-up question was, are we better than PSG? Like, if we get something out of that game with those players, are we a better team than PSG?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so that's a fair.
I think we only tie or win because PSG sat back, right?
Yeah,
With those players, like we would have probably nicked 1 or 2 goals, maybe. But no, I think PSG is better than us. They just don't try half the time. Right? They get lazy up front.
They and with the new coach, like they changed. Like it's not the old PSG where it was all guns blazing, flashy, like being 5-1 on aggregate away to Barcelona and still mess it up. Like it's not that PSG now.
They're so selfish. Like they could have probably put 5 or 6 in if they were just a couple more passes.
That's the only thing he needs to get out of that team. If he can get that out of that team, they are they're the main contender in my opinion. But he needs to get it. I agree. He needs to get it out there.
Those are all factors that are based on the other team. Like it's not us defending well, right? It's like them not. So that's why it's just like it's a huge issue with their club.
It is. And I saw videos of the clip of them wasting time. I'm like, yeah, it's frustrating, but it's part of the game. It is what it is. Like it looks frustrating, but like if I'm 2-1 up with 5 minutes to go and one of my players does that, I don't care. Like we cannot. Like it's funny, it looks hilarious, or like it looks frustrating. But like if we do that, and we've done that in the past, like let's be honest, every team does that. Like when they're struggling or like when they need to get a result over the line, they go to time wasting. It's fine. Like it's part of the game. It looks frustrating as an opposing fan, but like we will do it. People will hate it. We will love it when it happens for us. But that's that. We're gonna wrap it up. Unless you have something.
Saying, with those players, so I'm assuming Chiesa and Pogba, how would we have played? What do you think?
Who said that? Similar? No.
Nes Tecmo. NES Tecmo.
We would have done better, like just purely based on quality, and in terms of with those players, we can keep possession much better. And even when we have possession, we have more options. Like Pogba on that ball, he can make things happen out of nowhere. Di Maria can be this man. Chiesa can be this man. Like it's different. Like it's automatically like danger alert 2 levels up for PSG. Because like even if we don't play well as an opposing fan, you're like it's still Chiesa, it's Di Maria, it's Pogba. Like if you give them a little space, like they're gone. Like they're gonna punish you, or they should punish you with the quality they have. So it's just putting opposing players a little bit on edge. I don't think they were on edge when they saw Cuadrado and Kostic on that wing. Like, let's be completely honest, they were not on edge. I don't think they were an edge when they saw Miretti. They would probably be like, "Who the hell is that kid?" Like nobody heard of it, like from PSG. So that's already, not a win, but like that's an added value. Now, if it will look better, I have no idea. Like I don't know because we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But it should look better just based on quality again. Like even if you have no tactics, you just add 3 quality players in there, and if somehow they get on the ball, they probably will make things happen, even without any style of play or whatever, because that's how we did it for 2 years with Pirlo, with Allegri last season a little bit, like just brilliance, especially under Pirlo in the second part. Like it was just Chiesa, Ronaldo, just please, like, make something happen. Like if that was Keane or and Vlahovic, like they're different type of players. If Pirlo had those two up top, we wouldn't have made top 4. Like it's just based on quality.
So then, do you think Allegri relies on that with his
tactics? He does. Yeah. Well, he admitted, like he said it. I don't know when he said it. Like he said, like individual brilliance up top. I give my players freedom because they have quality and they need to make it happen. I'm like, that's okay, but like, what about the rest of that build up? Like, how are we gonna get that ball consistently to those up top who you told us they're gonna get freedom? I think that's the issue. I have no issue if they get freedom. Not complete freedom, because there still should be patterns of play or whatever. There should be. Like, if you give them freedom, fine. But what about the remainder 7 players? 6? Like, what's going to happen with those guys? That's the only issue.
I just feel like he gives them freedom, but, like, they don't do anything with it. It's just, they just stand there.
That's why I say
you would think he would, like, intervene and be like, all right, like, you guys need to, like, freaking run here or whatever, move you off, like, but I don't know.
And you can see that with counterattacks that we don't do it, because like usually if you step back, you should be good on counterattacks with the quality you have, and we look.
It's always like we have 2 players, and everyone else is jogging. Like no one wants to get forward.
Even yesterday,
so it's like 2 versus 5.
In that first half, when we got in and around the box, I looked up and I'm seeing Vlahovic in it and Milik like half-assing it, like in it, maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm like, oh boy, like get body. Like that's also fear factor. Like if you watch Napoli, pressure. They're getting bodies in it. Like just pure pressure, energy, and like I don't know, like basic stuff. Of course, they have quality, by the way. Like I'm not saying there's no quality. You cannot win games just purely on passion, like week in, week out. But that's what I'm missing now. I'm going, like, it's not a good thing, but like before the PSG game, I wasn't like nervous. I wasn't hyped, like, if you know what I mean. It was like, yeah, I'm going through the motion basically. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. Like seasons back, I was buzzing before a game, even if it was at home against Genoa. I'm like, I couldn't wait for the game to start. Like I was stressed. Even Genoa at home, when I knew we're gonna win, I was looking forward. I was stressed. Now I'm sitting there. I'm like, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. Like if we lose, no surprise. If we win, it's probably gonna look ugly, but we win. Like it's not a good sign.
Such a foreign feeling too, because I remember like even 3 years ago, like we expected to win every game. Right? Even if you played Bayern in the Champions League, you're like, all right, like they're amazing, but we're expected to still at least possibly win this game, and you're so excited now. Starting with the Pirlo season, that's when I noticed I was starting to get like not even excited to really watch anymore. Last season was horrendous. Last season was probably the worst season as a fan. Like, no, I wasn't excited at all. Like, didn't care they're playing. I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch today. Maybe I'll just go to the park with my girlfriend and hang out instead or something.
That was bad. Last season was, and I'm getting the same vibes this season, which is not good.
Yeah, and the start of the season was like, I was excited. I was like, all right, we got new players, we got these guys, and now I'm just like, all right, we're back. And now I'm sad again.
It is. But let's see. Play on Sunday. We're gonna wrap it up here. It's 1 hour in now. What do I need to mention before we wrap it up? If you haven't watched Justin's Daily, it's out. He talked about Pogba and he talked about the game, his view on the game. Tomorrow there will be a daily. Pretty sure there will be a live. I'm 100% sure. And then Friday, same thing. Saturday, no, we play on Sunday. There will be a watch long. I think it's gonna be Julian and Justin. Not sure about that, but at least one of them is doing the watch along. For this video, like, subscribe, as always, hit that bell notification. If you want to join the members club, join. You can come on and
guys join. It's like $1 or $2 a month. And you get a chat on Discord. You get to talk to people about Juventus all day. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like you don't like if you want to, you can join. Also the prediction league. I'll put it up. You can join the prediction league and you can win one of these things, like a jersey, free membership for a year, or a gift card for €50 for the Juve store. Not, for any random store. It's for the Juve store. So you can still join. Like the top is not it's not far off. Like you can still win that league at this point. Because people are having stinkers. I still need to check the final results. I need to give them.
I started predicting things I don't think is gonna happen, or just losses, so that if we do lose, then at least I get a point for the prediction league. So it helps with my stress.
Oh my god, it's like reverse jinx. But if it works, it works. It's not working now, apparently.
It's not working. It hasn't worked yet. No.
But yeah, if you want to join, you can join. It's just helping out the channel, like what we do to improve giveaways. We do all sort of stuff with all those things. But that's that. And yeah, I want to thank Daniela for coming on a Wednesday evening or Wednesday midday.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock here.
It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, for me it's Thursday already. But
oh shit.
Yeah, but thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Thanks everybody in the chat for watching, and we will be back tomorrow, same hour. Ciao guys.